In 2014, he was the recipient of the Sugar Bowls Distinguished American Award. In 2016, Tulane University School of Science and Engineering Alumnus of the Year was presented to him. And now, Jesuit High School is honored to recognize Jack Laborde as the school's 2017 Alumnus of the Year.
Thank you, Father Frank, for that kind invitation, and good luck in your new assignment. Good luck in your new assignment. There are a few times in life that are so treasured that the moment and the people and the reason behind them are baked into your memory. For me, this is one of those times. Standing here in the chapel was a long way from the first day I came here as a pre-freshman. I remember my older brother, he was 2 years older than I was, so I knew some of his classmates, and I walked in here as about 145 pound, 5'2", pre-freshman. I made it about 6 feet into the yard, and the guy put me in a trash can. Those weren't nice trash cans, they were just 50-gallon drums unlined. He said, you better stay there a little while, because if you get out, you're just going back in, so I did. Next thing I saw was this priest grabbing my feet, and learned later it was Father Baudouin. He said, what happened, son? I said, I tripped. He said, have you had PH yet? I said, I haven't even been to class yet. Then from there, I kind of started trying to find my school classrooms, kept going up stairwells, and some big guy would say, pre-freshman aren't allowed on this stairwell, so you go back down. Try to find another one. You did that half the day. You were late for every class. You didn't know where they were. You're carrying about 40 pounds of books with you, because they only give you about a 10-pound locker back then. So you're trying to get, locate classrooms. For me, I was being called John by every roll call in every class. I didn't know what they were talking about. And I took the Lake Vista bus home, and remember I walked in the house, and Mom said, how was it? I said, it was fine. So I went upstairs, and my brother said, how was it? I said, it really sucked. Yeah. But he said, well, welcome. He said, you're a Blue Jay. And I remember after that, I said, he's right. Well, I heard him mumble something as I went to bed. I said, what'd you say? He said, it gets worse. But I can't adequately express my appreciation to Jesuit High School for this honor. I mean, it's not just talking about this evening. I'm talking about the opportunity the school has given me that has become a part of the fabric of my life. But it's the cherished school of friendships and the graduation associations that top my list of things that I'm appreciated for. Jesuit builds men for others, true goal of our Jesuit education. The alma mater, the fight song, the Blue Jay, colors of blue and white, even the everyday uniforms, that little not too flattering hat we used to wear, the polished belt buckle and your name tag, and your teachers and coaches, administration, they all combine to add to the tradition of this place. Often a high school coach has a bigger impact on a young man's life than anyone else. I was fortunate to encounter one of these larger-than-life men, Ken Tarzetti. This man demanded your best. I remember first time I ever dressed out at a Jesuit football game, I was in the locker room, and Tarzetti started his pregame speech, I guess. It wasn't exactly lead us on to victory, Mother Alma Mater dear. He added a few words, action words in there. And then I remember we were leaving, and Father Pierce was at the door, and he says, whoa, he says, gentlemen, Padre wants to say a little prayer. I'm going, holy mackerel, calling Father Pierce, Padre. And Father Pierce's usually his speech was something about the Christian battlefield today, and you really weren't in the mood to listen to much of that. You're about to go have 3 hours of miserable experience. But I remember he broke into a second verse of his speech about the Colossians who were about to remind him of one time the battle, Ephesians were about to battle the Colossians, and Father Torzetti says, Padre, that's enough. I don't know who they are. If we ever played them, we beat them, so let's go, boys. And I was young. Man, these guys were giants. And I said, boy, if that bald-headed guy just kind of put Padre in his place, I'm not fooling with the bald-headed guy. I also remember another one. We were in a game late in the season, and we weren't winning, and we had timeout. We were close, and we called timeout, and I remember Father Cantosetti had his arm around me. And I was thinking, all I wanted was to give me a play, man, let's go. He says, this is a good sign over here. I said, what? He says, Father Reich, who was athletic director at that point. I said, what? He says, he's got his rosary out. He said, that's the only guy who understands it. It says, if we win this ball game, we go to the playoffs, he gets another payday, and I think the Jesuits need it. Another guy, Frank Mizuraka, one day, I remember practice, he made me catch. Put on all those tools of ignorance, they call them. And after practice, he said, man, Coach, you mad at me or something? It was kind of fun, but what did I do wrong? He says, well, Father Pierce called me today, and we put an ad in the paper, the Tulane Shirts have finally given up sponsoring the Legion team. Your dad called, and the Otico Driller is going to be the Legion team sponsor. He says, the way I'm looking at it, I got to get you somewhere on the field, and right field would be good, but you can't see. But actually, that was the most interesting thing we did, catching. Fabian Mang was a year ahead of me catching, so if you ever tried to catch Fabian Mang, that was a thrill. He was one of the real true guys that came out and went straight to the pros. And, you know, rookie trying to catch him was fun because he was a different cat. But when you think of Jesuit and try to write your speech, you think of the guys who kind of affected you while attending here. And I would be remiss without mentioning Mr. P.H. himself, Father Pierce, with his rubber-soled shoes, a priest who baptized both my children. The game day memories are fresh. I can still hear the band. I can still feel the rhythm of the cheerleaders' yells and the revered fight song reverberating in City Park Stadium. I can still see my teammates' eyes in the huddle. The huddle is a place where differences don't matter, as they intently listen to the next play. Wally, Wes, Dickie, Sonny, Beach Boy, Tuna, Wayne, Timmy, Kirk, Sal, Dick, Steve, Vance, Tony. You know, what great memories. We all experienced football's power of hope, and from time to time, the will to succeed, and we never gave up. We tasted success, and we felt the emptiness of losing. By far, my greatest thrill and honor in football was the privilege of being a Jesuit quarterback. A few memories I remember at Jesuit. I was listening to memories, and it's sad that most of them reverberate around PH. I remember one time Father Pierce said, what do I got to do today? He says, go down to band practice. I said, band practice? He says, yeah, room 405, I don't know what it was. Got on there, and Mr. Kaluta was in there. Evidently, he must have sent some other people down there, because I walked in, come on in, son. He said, what do you want to play today? I said, give me the clarinet. My brother played clarinet, and he was bad at it, but I listened to clarinet for a couple of years. And give me that thing. So, boy, I said, give me a trumpet. That. So all the little band guys, they were laughing. I didn't blame them. So after about half an hour of that, I got down to the little triangle thing that you hit. And they played some music, and he'd hit me, and I hit the triangle. And I did that for about an hour, and went back to Father Pierce. I said, what you got out of that? I said, thanks for doing that. I learned there's some really talented people in this school, and they don't play football. They don't do things I do. They play band, and they practice just as much as we did. And, you know, I don't know how to honor them. They say, you know, they go out every Friday night, rain or shine, and they play for y'all, and I don't know y'all appreciate it. I said, Father, I appreciate it a lot more now, you know, and thanks for doing that. He sent me one time, PH again, he sent me one time to Quiz Bowl. And you go in this little room, there are two guys. They asked the goofiest questions for half an hour. Remember the first one, he said, what is Kathmandu? I went, whoa, Kathmandu. And the guy goes, man, capital of Nepal. I said, what's Nepal? But they also, same kind of reason. He taught me that there were kids in this place that just had different talents than I did. and they need to be appreciated. I don't know how you appreciate them, but, you know, you need to. And so sometimes, you know, PH isn't wasted on everybody. I remember one time we were in football, we were in the bus after practice, and Father Tentosetti said, "Who has PH?" I think they looked at Timmy and Dickie LaCour. I said, "We're not going to volunteer if he doesn't know." So he started the bus, went about 4 feet. He said, "Laborde screen, forwards out the bus, false stitch." He says, "Run around the tennis court, because y'all have PH and didn't tell me." I said, "Okay." So we ran around the tennis court, got back, he left us in City Park. Really good move. I don't think you'd do that today. You'd probably have every lawyer in the city. But I said, you know, they got our attention. Recently, my son Eric had a serious accident, and a day or two later, I called Father McGinn, and what really stuck out in the conversation was he said, "I've gotten numerous emails about your son's accident, and we're all praying for him. The school, you know, the Jesuit family is praying for him." I said, "Wow, you know, that means something, and we're part of that family." My Naval Academy dad, you know, everything meant everything to him. When he saw we come to Jesuit, boy, he was happy. He could yell at you about your shoes, your belt, your hat, you know, be on time, make your bed, be nice to your mother. Because what you learn from Dad is that the little bitty things all mattered. And you add them up and you're doing a lot of things right. You've got to do the little things right. Couldn't quite figure out how to put in my speech that Gaul is divided into 3 parts, but it's in the speech. But all those things, you know, what wonderful memories. We all have them. And, you know, when you sit down and think about things, we're very lucky to have had this experience. I want to share this honor and recognize my 50-year reunion class. I think they were as bewildered as me on getting this award. And today, especially Edgar Chase, who was in our class. He's also a past recipient of this award. I'm awfully glad Edgar's mom never let him quit while he was here, and we've all benefited from your friendship. I want to express my love for my wife of 43 years, whose brother was a 65 graduate. Also my 2 children, Eric, who is a 96 honor graduate, his wife Betsy, my daughter Blaine, and my 4 enjoyable grandchildren, the beautiful Pender and Parker, who's possibly a future Blue Jay if we have if you give some benefit for legacies. And he's definitely a future PH participant, this guy. But they're all with us today. All of these wonderful people have given me more than one man deserves. I'm now convinced that the best reason to have kids is the enjoyment of grandkids. It's truly a special gift if you're fortunate enough to have a son attend Jesuit High School. As you watch him struggle with Jesuit High School's daily routine, you appreciate all the training your son's enduring and being shaped by. The Jesuits are probably brilliant in never making this a co-ed school, because if my daughter had attended, Father Postel and Father again would still be up there listening to it, telling her about all the things that could be changed, and why didn't you do them yesterday? You know? I'm extremely privileged to represent the public face of the 2017 Alumnus of the Year honor, which has gone to men of very different accomplishments and training. And after admitting, exploring some of their names, it's pretty special. Arthur Mann's record as the only Alumnus of the Year recipient from the class of 4F remains intact for another year. It looks like I'm the first quarterback to be given this honor. Maybe Father Frank's rookie year mistake. We'll see. When an aging parent gets kind of where he loses his zest for life, you make up reasons why he needs to stay alive, especially my dad. You make up Christmas is coming, birthdays are coming, anniversaries are coming. Reminded me of the time when I went to tell him that I was going to be the king of Carnival. Dad grew up in central Louisiana. We kind of grew up in Morgan City, where I was born, and Lafayette before we came here. Not much of a Mardi Gras guy, and I said, I'm going to be the king of Carnival. And he said, I'm sure hope that's not what the Lord was keeping me alive for. He said, don't tell him you're from Morgan City. That's not exactly the hotbed of royalty. Poor Mom and Dad, I wish they were here to watch me receive this honor. I can hear my dad say congratulations, but don't go believing half the nice things they're going to say about you. Mom would say, I'm proud of you, and tell the selection committee they made a nice choice. Gentlemen, we are the Blue Jays and couldn't be prouder. Thank you very much.